Time for more Cougar Athletics here on MC22 and the Cougar Insider Show. Another round. This is my name, Cosmo, the voice of Cougar Athletics, and the head coach of the women's basketball squad, Taylor Purcell. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Have you gotten used to hearing head coach Taylor Purcell yet? I mean, I know you were a head coach previously in high school, but at the college ranks, that's got to be pretty outstanding.
It is starting to get used to it, but it did take a little bit of time, especially being in the same program.
Right.
I showed up to work the same. I went to the same office for a couple months before I switched over, but it really was kind of an adjustment period.
And if you're watching and you're unaware, Taylor, you were under Jessica Keller, the previous coach, for 3 seasons. Came in with her as an assistant coach when she took over the program 3 seasons ago. Then she left to go assistant coach at Illinois State. Correct. To take over as the top assistant at that program. And then such begins the interview process. At what point did you decide, I mean, I'm assuming pretty much right away, that you were going to take your resume and stats and everything over to coach and athletic director Bob Burchard and put your name in the ring?
Well, early in the process, Jess and I had a conversation when I knew she was going for the interview, and she kind of said, like, prepare yourself,
right.
And it was kind of an interesting, deal because we didn't know really.
Right.
She kind of was a little cryptic even about it with me. She kind of took her time deciding, and then one day she kind of came in and was like, yeah, I think I need to make this move. And
sorry to interrupt you, but as we talked with her right after the decision had been made, that's a big decision because she came here thinking I'm going to be here for a while, and
local kid, absolutely,
yeah, absolutely, and really made a quick turnaround quickly with this team, and all of a sudden you get that opportunity, and now she's rethinking things, and so that opened her door, which opened your opportunity.
Well, and that's just it, and so when the opportunity kind of arose, I just ran with it, and I don't think I ever worked harder on a resume in my life. Pedal to the metal almost immediately, and so there was just a lot that had to go on. It was right before school was ending, so graduation was coming up, and so which led into a summer and our summer camps, and we have been working on a bunch of stuff. It's really funny that actually the first thing I had done after her decision was, before I even finished my resume, was to change the camp flyer from Coach Keller's camp to Coach Purcell's camp.
Right.
So kind of an interesting thing that was the first change I had to make. But I'm really happy for her. She's really loving it over there. We talk as often as we can. We're both so swamped. She really is the closest coach I know that coaches D1, and it's an interesting game over at the Division I level, and so. But we stay connected as much as we can.
Absolutely, and again, as we talked with Bob Burchard last week about your taking this position, obviously you had a shorter resume just because you're a younger guy, but you had the high school, the head coaching experience there, and then what you were able to do and what Coach Keller basically allowed as the top assistant. You were almost like coach. She was Coach 1 and you were Coach 1A, and had a heavy lifting on the recruiting side, the game planning side, and a lot of experience that you gained in those 3 years.
Well, I think that was what helped prepare me the most. And that was one of the things that I talked to Coach Burchard about in my interview, was that I got to see all of her first decisions, being that it was her first head coaching job. So that has helped prepare me, and it already has shown through. There's been things that occur in everyday, program life that you need a quick decision on, and seeing the decision she made 3 years earlier has helped me now make decisions this year. But the game planning, the recruiting, my familiarity with the players, that was really, that made the transition really easy. And I really tip my hat to our girls, because it isn't always easy going from Coach P, the assistant, to now Coach P, the head coach. What are his expectations?
Sure.
How does he like to operate on things? Because without a doubt, there are things that I view one way, Coach Keller viewed one way, and the girls have really done an excellent job of working through what I like to look for.
Right.
Coach Keller was more defensive, and I'm more offensive minded.
Right.
And so that.
Yeah, what was your quote in the newspaper article? What, you want to score 100 and something points every game,
well,
or something?
I think so. I told the girls, I said every point under 150 is a sprint at the next practice. So they already know that. No, but I just think that the game of basketball, that's kind of the new wave, more of the spread offenses and scoring points, and we're really good at scoring points. And so maximize our strengths, and I tell the girls every day, let it fly. Actually, that's one of the 3 keys to practice this afternoon is letting it fly.
Letting it fly.
Letting it fly.
Working on the shooting.
Yep, absolutely.
So the cannon will be in overdrive. Is what
That's
you're saying.
right, yep.
Out on the court on Bob Burchard Court here at Southwell Complex. Talking with the new women's basketball coach at Columbia College, Taylor Posale. Take us through the moment, whether it was an in-person or on the phone, when Coach Burchard, athletic director Bob Burchard, said it's official, done, you're the new head coach.
Well,
here's the keys.
So it was in person, and you just don't know how to react, because I always wanted to be a college head coach.
Right.
But, we talked about it earlier, just 6 years prior, I got my first coaching job as a JV coach.
Right.
And 6 JV at the high school level, small high school in Minnesota. And 6 years later, now I'm taking over what many feel is a very high-level college program. And
absolutely. Perennially in the top 25.
Right.
You've been to the tournament numerous times.
So when that's the case, my first reaction was I need to get my wife on the horn because our lives are now changed.
Well, yeah, because you guys just got married last summer, correct?
Yep, we just got married. Yep, and
nothing like life changes just coming right at you.
I know. When I would say we put a down payment on a house just right after that, and then we went and got a puppy. And so we're talking about life changes. It was quick. But my first thought was, who do I need to call immediately? And I wrote down a list of probably 30 names. And I went through that list the first day and called every single person on that list, whether it was an AAU coach, whether it was our current players, whether it was high school coaches, whether it was my parents,
right.
Just got all those people called and got everything organized after that. And again, our young ladies did an excellent job of doing their part, of helping me out along that process, and then we really hit the ground running from there.
Well, obviously with the transition, since you were here already, number one, all those other life changes, it wasn't involving packing a Ryder truck and moving across country, changing zip codes and states like you had done when you came from Minnesota with Coach Keller. So on that aspect of things, a ton the same. Obviously, like you said, you still come to Southwell Complex. The office is still in the same place. So that aspect was easy. And obviously you had a hand in recruiting so many of the players on that lineup. So it wasn't as if you were walking into a gym for the first time and meeting some of these players, or had interviewed, and as a lot of coaches do, they meet 2 or 3, maybe the seniors or a couple of the other players, and get somewhat of an idea. So that had to make the transition so far that even obviously much easier.
Much easier, and it was kind of interesting because I did interview with some of the players that I had coached for 2 years, and I found it really intriguing, some of their questions and concerns.
That's interesting to hear that was, I guess that would be part of the interview process for anyone that was an outsider, so I'm glad that at least that was part. So how did that go? Who asked the toughest question?
Well, I think point guard Alexis Huffman asked the hardest questions, I'm going to be honest. But she asks hard questions every day. That's one thing I love about that kid is she is so smart. But it became very clear that the girls' wants and expectations were very similar to mine. And we all want to win, we want to do things the right way. And so rule number 1 for me is be on time. And that is in all phases of life. And so we actually start practice early every day. So I have 3 o'clock, or today we have practice supposed to start at 5:30. I guarantee you we'll be on the court at 5:25, rolling, already starting with drills. And I think I really value about this team. But then on the same side, it's that when you have earned the right out of practice, then you're done with practice for the day. And so that's the next part of things, is work hard every day, and you take care of those 2 things, be on time, you work hard, and everything else kind of takes care of itself.
Before we talk about your players, you mentioned Ms. Huffman, but what about your rest of your coaching staff as we get ready to wrap up our first segment? Who's helping you out, grad assistant, assistant-wise, for your first year? Yeah,
so I was actually very lucky to bring in Alexis Lawrence as my assistant. She spent the last 2 years as a GA at Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, and she is a fantastic basketball mind. She played at a high level, played at UMSL, and then went over and was the assistant over there. And she is really skilled at individual work, and so I've been very blessed to have really handed over the reins of the individual work to her. She also is very good in workouts in the weight room and lifting, and so she actually has taken over all of our lifting, and she's taken over all of our individual work. And I can already tell a difference in our girls. And I told her, I said, I want to be very explosive. I'm going to run up and down the floor. And she she has our girls ready. That's for sure.
What about grad assistants? Anyone or
Nope,
not yet? Not
no
yet.
grad, just her and I.
Very cool.
And so we're doing the work of bigger staffs, and
Sure.
and so far so well.
Ready to rock on. Well, we'll come back and talk more about the specific players, and heck, before we know it, we're tipping the season off. Cougar basketball coach Taylor Purcell, the women's side here on the Cougar Insider. Back after this.
With Prime TV and On Demand, we can catch up on our favorite series anytime.
With Prime TV, there's always something for them, like this or this, with Kids On Demand.
That's why I upgraded. More entertainment I can watch my way.
There are lots of reasons to get Prime TV. Now just $7.95 more a month for 1 year. With thousands of on-demand choices
and Stars Encore.
there's more for everyone. Upgrade today and save. Call 888-SIMPLIFY for details.
It's your home. It's your family. It's everything that matters most in your world. And Mediacom Home Controller keeps it all connected and protected. Make sure the doors are locked. Check in on the kids. Easily manage your home settings from anywhere and go to bed with greater peace of mind. Add Mediacom Home Controller for as low as $24.99 per month for 36 months. Call today for details.
Talking Cougar basketball with the head coach of the Cougar women's team. In his first season, Taylor Purcell was an assistant for, it was 3 seasons, right?
3 seasons. Yep.
Jessica Keller was the head coach here. She moved on to be the top assistant at Illinois State in the D1 ranks. And Taylor aced the interview with Coach. How many Diet Cokes did you give him to help with that interview? No,
I just rolled in and I set a 24-pack on the desk.
But Taylor Purcell, as the new women's basketball coach, had been the assistant coach. Gets moved up to the top position. Alexis Lawrence is your assistant coach, and you guys have been running really pretty much since. I mean, when did you officially get the job? It was
May 4th.
May 4th.
May 4th, and so it was a quick process. I think less than 2 weeks.
And summer workouts. When did that all start? When do you start getting everybody together?
Well, we here at Columbia, what we do is we send workouts with them on the road, and so that was one big challenge right away. Is that through the process we didn't have those workouts done, and I hurried up and put together.
Right.
Ended up being 37 pages worth of workouts.
Wow.
Got it sent out to them, and the girls took it and ran with it. And then we came together during camps, and then every Tuesday night we host a summer league up here, which I love. It's been fantastic for us. We've averaged between 40 and 50 kids every Tuesday night up here, and we just run, and the girls get an opportunity to play together, and it really is a fun night for everyone involved.
Let's talk about the team. Let's start with some of the new faces that might be coming in, getting their first action at Columbia College, because you have a young but experienced team, because your players had been young with no seniors on this roster.
No seniors on the roster, which is a really unique situation to walk into as a first-year head coach, because I look at my roster and I say, okay, these are my team for the next, hopefully, 65, 70 games,
Right.
you know, and not too often you can look at a group of 13 girls and say, yeah, this team is going to have 70 games together, you know, and you start with the newcomers. We have 4 freshmen this year. Gina Stevens has come in. She's from Parkway Central. She's made a big-time impact already, big-time defender, really long, very athletic. We have Yukari McKinney from Hazelwood Central, really strong post player on the block. She scores the ball fantastic. Almost just about the opposite of our good friend Marta from last year. Yukari makes her living on the offensive side,
Right.
much like Marta made her living on the defensive
Absolutely.
side of things. We have a point guard from Scotland County who led her team to the 3rd, 4th place game last year.
So that's a school that you hear all the time when it's time for the Final Four in basketball, both sides, boys and girls.
Yep.
That Scotland County is always right there, back at Hearn Center, back at Mizzou Arena.
And Abby, she does a great job. Very good communicator. And you can pick out which one she is within 10 minutes of practice, because that kid is drenched in sweat almost immediately. I mean, that kid works hard every day. And then finally, Madison McGregor out of Rockford, Iowa. Another post player. She's coming slowly along. You got a torn meniscus right now. But we're supposed to have her back in the next couple weeks. We're hoping that she can be ready after the first couple games of the season, and then she'll jump in there as well. But Really smart. She's done a nice job at practice despite not playing, which can be a challenge to freshmen, especially freshmen 5-6 hours away from home.
Absolutely.
And she really has hit it with strides and has done a fantastic job for us. So
I think that's something we've talked about on this show with all the coaches, no matter what the sport, whether it's track and field, golf, basketball, soccer, you name it, especially with some of the international players, but even at a level of being freshmen, the adjustment to going to college, that added pressure, and then trying to fit in and earn some playing time as a freshman, but then also now playing injured or having to battle through that injury, the stresses that come along with that. It's kind of a 3-4-headed monster that's tough to work with.
It is, and so you check on those kids regularly, make sure that they're getting the help they need, and but like I said, we've been very lucky with Madison and her eagerness to rehab.
Right. Now let's talk about some of the returners and then how you mesh them all together to make this 2017-18 team click.
Yep. Well, I think we start with our 2 returning All-Americans, Morgan Brandt and Ashley Marlett. Those 2 are back, and they really have taken on the leadership onto them this year, both really at practice and then the one scrimmage that we've had so far. But I'm really excited about those 2, and then it goes even further when you look at the rest of our junior class. Sarah Walters has taken some big strides, and Alexis Uffman. Both kids worked extremely hard this summer and had a great summer. Uffman maybe has taken the biggest jump of anyone on our team. She has. We're really clicking on offense when she's in the game. She's just so smart. She knows where to put the ball. She knows where people are at, and she really gets us organized. She's a true quarterback on the court right now for us. And then, unfortunately, Hannah Sutton went down with an ACL, and so we're going to miss her this year, but we'll be excited for her to come back next season. And then going forward into our sophomore class, they really have taken a big step forward too. They were very good as freshmen. Gray Hayes, Jordan Alfred, Reagan Weiser, and May Nienheiser. And having them back and another year in the system really is kind of showing through. Reagan Weiser is on fire right now. If she plays like this for 5 more months, we're going to be tough to beat.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that when she crosses half court, if you aren't matched up with her, that ball's in the bottom of the net. So.
And some of those ladies, with Gray, she got some extra time, obviously, with the injury to Jordan.
Right.
So there's kind of one of those next up mentalities. And all of a sudden you throw a freshman more minutes than she was maybe going to get. The learning curve was sped up incredibly.
Well, I always think about someone like Gray, first career start on the road at #1 Freed Hardeman. Talk about throwing you to the wolves, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You don't get much better experience than that. So, and it's showing though, because she's just a different player right now, and she's a lot more confident. That was one thing that I always wanted from her, was more consistency and more confidence, kind of believe in herself. And she really is a different kid right now, and so I'm excited about that. With the emergence of Alexis and Gray, we've really been able to move Jordan off the ball a little bit, which has helped too, because now we can get her into more actions, get her the ball quicker instead of giving it up and then hope it gets back to her. Because you want the ball in Jordan's hands. And so we've been able to do different things within the offense because of their emergence. And so that's been big. And then May really is another kid that had a big summer as well. She's right there with Sarah and Alexis with all her workouts. And I don't know if there's a stronger kid in the weight room than May Nienheiser. I think that kid lives for the weight room, to be honest with you. So gives us a little bit more toughness on the blocks, we'll say.
Absolutely. And then Jordan back after the knee injury a season ago, and like you said, giving her maybe a little different role with the new pieces that you have.
Well, I think that it's kind of helped with her comeback as well. There's always some rust that kind of plays a part of it, and we're still trying to work her through a couple things. And I think that at times maybe she, it still kind of bothers her a little bit, but I'll be excited for when she's back to 100% completely, and I think that will be here in the next month or so.
So if folks come out to watch, you guys start what, November 3rd?
November 3rd, we open up.
Yep. First game. Cougar fans that have watched the team over the years, whether it was before Coach Keller got here or the 3 seasons with Coach, what's going to stand out maybe a little different for what they're going to witness with your team?
Well, I think I'm really a believer in 2 different things. We like scoring a lot of points. people used to joke with me when I was a player that I had to ice my elbow after games.
Taking too many shots?
Yeah. That's the same type of mentality that I kind of promote with my players, that when you're open, we want that ball up, okay? So one of my big things that I really preach at practice is possessions. We want to up our number of possessions. And so last season under Coach Keller, we averaged about 74 possessions a game. I'm looking to be more in that 90, 95 average, and so we'll be significantly quicker up and down the floor. We also will press a lot more. I feel like with our length and our depth that I'd like to see us kind of run up and down a little more, turn it into a track meet, and then, like I said, let it fly.
Well, that was going to be my next question. If you're playing that fast pace, obviously number one, that comes back to the conditioning you talked about with assistant coach Lawrence, but having a deeper bench, the fitness level better be there, and then you're probably going to be subbing a little quicker to kind of bring in the fresher legs and keep things moving.
Well, and I think we will be subbing a lot more. And I feel like that's almost been our most difficult transition so far, is because girls were more used to playing 6-7 minute stretches.
Right.
And now, change them and getting ready to playing for 3-4 minute stretches is kind of a transition. And that maybe has been the hardest transition for our girls so far, is to understand that you need to give it everything you can for 3 minutes.
Right.
And then I got you. And then you're coming right back in 3 minutes.
Right.
Your minutes aren't going to change.
Right.
Just how and when you're getting those minutes is going to change. And like I said, we're still kind of working through that. And the girls but they're picking it up. And I'll be excited to see what we look like on November 3rd.
Well, I can't wait. To sneak in and watch a practice sometime and get ready to watch the Cougars, coached by this guy, Taylor Purcell. Congrats again on the head coaching job. I know it's a big honor, and I know you can't wait for the home opener.
Oh, I'm excited.
Get things started. Find out the full schedule more, meet the team, ColumbiaCougars.com. And don't forget, you can watch this show and many others on MC22.com or at the website and on demand from your cable box. Thanks for watching Cougar Insider Show here on MC22.
Attention Mediacom Internet customers. Are you ready to go even faster? Boost your speed from up to 60 to up to 100 meg for just $10 more a month. Or speed boost to up to 200 meg for just $20 more a month for 1 year. That's up to 3 times faster than you're going now. Whether you're uploading, downloading, surfing, or streaming, adding speed boost makes the time you spend online faster, better, and smoother than ever. Supercharge your internet for as little as $10 more a month for 1 year. Call 888-SIMPLIFY today.
Video and music fans,
You don't have to settle for this. Well, you can watch like this.
access apps like Pandora, YouTube, and Netflix right on your TV with Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
In every community, young people are proving their abilities to lead through accomplishment in the classroom and beyond. At Mediacom, we're proud to recognize these outstanding individuals by awarding world-class scholarships. By investing in these young leaders and their educations, we believe that we're creating a more promising future for everyone. Congratulations to each and every winner. Mediacom, powering the future.
With TiVo, you can record shows to watch later, of course, but you can also access popular video apps right on your TV. And you can watch your recordings or stream live TV on your mobile device, making any screen in your home a TV screen. TiVo's free app even lets you schedule your recordings when you're not at home.
Seriously, you have to watch this show.
Don't mind if I do. With TiVo, you'll never have to miss a thing. For special offers on TiVo, call 888-SIMPLIFY.
The average family uses 7 internet devices at the same time. From online grocery shopping to online doctor visits to online fitness, we're more connected than ever. By 2022, a typical home could have 500 smart devices. That's why at Mediacom, we've increased all our speeds, and we're bringing gigabit speeds to every community our internet serves. So while technology is changing fast, we'll continue to stay ahead.
When you download the Mediacom Connect mobile care app, you can troubleshoot issues, look at your data usage, pay your bill, get appointment reminders, and even schedule a time for us to call you without ever leaving the couch. It's like having your own customer service agent.
Remember, your TiVo install is tomorrow.
And technician right in your phone.
Mediacom Connect Mobile Care. Download the free app today from iTunes or Google Play.